Coming up on the lead report, we have more in the aftermath of the deadly Parkland shooting.
The Winter Olympics are usually highlighted with tales of hard work and the hunt for gold, but stay tuned for an unfamiliar tale in sports.
Professors on city campus claim they've been enduring racism, discrimination, and harassment for years. We have the latest. Hello and welcome to this edition of Newscene. I'm Marissa Gonzalez.
And I'm Christian Gomez. There are new threats surrounding 6 schools here in San Diego, all followed the deadly school shooting in Parkland, Florida. Our Gabe Salazar has the story.
The story is now told.
I was fleeing for my life. I was running for my life from a guy with an assault weapon.
We were running, we were trying to get by the fence, by the creek. People are holding on to each other, some are crying.
And the messages made clear.
I understand what it's like to text my parents, goodbye, I might never ever get to see you again, I love you. I understand what it's like to fear for your life. And I don't think we should ever be discredited because of that.
Inside the Florida Capitol, the call for stronger gun control pouring out of the mouths of more than 100 Stoneman Douglas students.
I'm here to demand change from our government.
Some marching to meetings with lawmakers holding signs, others branding messages on their arms. The crowd demanding to hear from lawmakers who have spoken against stricter enforcement.
I want to see those people. I'm not here for a fight. I'm not here to argue with you. I just want to speak. I just want to see your face and know why.
The survivors warning the legislators that nothing is going to stop them in this fight.
We are not afraid of getting reelected or not getting reelected. We have nothing to lose. The only thing we have to gain at this point is our safety.
And leaving lawmakers with a vow.
We are the future. We are the future of America. We're the future voters. So legislators out there, if you guys don't make a change, you're not going to stay in office. And that's a promise.
Our Gabriel Salazar also has reactions from students here at City College amid the shooting threats and how students in Stoneman Douglas High School are reacting.
It's been nearly a week since the deadly school shooting at a Parkland, Florida high school. Since then, 6 schools here in San Diego have been receiving some kind of threat surrounding their campuses. We have a student here at City College to see what their reaction is. Do you feel safe on campus right now?
For the most part, I do.
And lately, the president has been proposing that they arm teachers in different schools citywide. How do you feel about that?
I don't blame them for taking action. After all these mass shootings going on at these schools, I don't blame them for what they're doing. I wouldn't mind, because like teachers' lives matter too, not only just students. They're all human.
Yes, gun violence. That's the issue being debated and discussed at a Florida town hall.
Meanwhile, High Tech Media School in Point Loma was on full lockdown after a threatening message was discovered. It raised concerns following the mass shooting in Florida. Melanie Green has more on the story.
Parents and teachers were on high alert after a threatening graffiti message was found in a girl's bathroom. On Tuesday, parents were notified via email by school officials stating an additional police presence was put into motion. The person who wishes not to be identified has more details on the importance of reformed gun laws.
I think that this threat is the direct result of gun violence that's been demonstrated across our country. We like to think as Californians that we're more progressive, but these issues are still affecting us on a day-to-day basis.
In the wake of the Parkland shooting, which left 17 victims dead and many others wounded, the incident raises concerns on the safety of school campuses.
I think the most important thing is to have preventative measures in place. I think that even though increased security in schools could potentially create a safer environment, the real solution is probably going to come from reformed gun laws, as well as more importance being placed on mental health concerns.
Additional security was also seen in other schools, including San Marcos High, as well as Scripps Ranch for similar threats. A proposed bill in Alabama is also in talks, which would allow educators to carry guns to school for self-defense. I'm Melanie Green reporting for Newscene.
Classes still resumed as normal, and thankfully no one has been injured. Additional security has also been added to 4 San Diego County schools.
After the recent events in Parkland, Florida, Donald Trump has signed a memorandum to ban bump stocks. Bump stocks are solely used to increase the fire rate of semi-automatic guns. The president has met up with the students and victims since then to discuss gun laws during this terrible crisis. He came to the final decision after reviewing last October's Las Vegas shooting, in which the gunman used bump stocks attached to 2 semi-automatic rifles to kill 58 people.
Just days after that mass shooting, gun control in Florida may be toughening up. Governor of Florida Rick Scott is working towards raising the minimum age for purchasing a gun from 18 to 21. Parkland's 19-year-old mass shooter was able to legally purchase a semi-automatic rifle in Florida. Scott Gunn's proposal includes the ban of bump stocks as well as tougher restrictions that would deny the purchase of guns from those with mental health issues.
In other news, the White House gets rejected by a world leader. According to the State Department, Vice President Mike Pence has scheduled a secret meeting with high leaders of North Korea. The meeting was supposed to be this month when the Vice President was in South Korea, but the North Koreans canceled at last minute. Heather Nauert, spokesperson for the department, spoke on Tuesday saying that they regret the failure to seize this opportunity. The failed meeting is another turnaround of the United States pressuring North Korea and its end to nuclear and missile programs.
At least 32 new charges of tax and bank fraud are being filed against former Trump campaign officials Paul Manafort and Rick Gates in the Mueller probe. A grand jury approved new indictments against both men Thursday, alleging Manafort laundered over $30 million with the help of Gates. That $30 million reportedly came from Manafort's time working for the former Ukrainian president before he signed on to work for the Trump campaign. Reported today by NPR, a source close to the trial says Gates is expected to plead guilty to charges.
A pilot of a small aircraft have died following a plane crash in Kearny Mesa earlier this week. The pilot was the only person on board the aircraft at the time of the crash, which occurred shortly after taking off. He was later identified as John Cherokee, a local orthopedic surgeon. Witnesses say that a parachute was deployed during the crash but did not fully open. This is the second plane crash in this county within the month.
A bike-sharing program will be coming to the city of San Diego. Mayor Jerry Sanders and a couple members of the city council announced today Deco Bike will be the new partner for the program. The plan is to have 1,800 bikes at 180 stations around the city, with the idea that people can borrow a bike to get from one place to another. The program is expected to begin next year, and it will be the first of its kind in the region.
And as the deadline for DACA looms closer, we have more on what this means for immigrants.
Plus, the Padres head into spring training with a new first baseman. Find out who in sports.
And I can't change. Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Pressure is mounting on Capitol Hill after Congress failed to come to an agreement on any immigration bill last week. Newscene's David Jones takes a look ahead as the DACA deadline approaches.
With the March 5th deadline for the DACA program just 3 weeks away, many recipients of the program are concerned.
It doesn't look good for us, but we believe in democracy, we believe in the American people.
Last week, Congress failed to pass several immigration bills to relaunch the program, as it grows less likely an agreement will be reached next month. But what will the immigration situation look like in America after the March date passes? Since the program stopped accepting new applications in September, an average of 100 DACA recipients a day have seen their permits expire. That number can jump to over 400 after the deadline passes.
We might even get our driver's license taken away. Our worker's permit that's allowing us to get that income that we can't file in for a scholarship from the federal government, that will be taken away. So then it's where, what do we do now?
However, The Trump administration has assured that DACA recipients will not be targeted in massive deportations. In addition, federal courts in both New York and California issued court orders which allow immigrants to apply for 2-year renewals. This means there's a chance those who apply can still be protected through the year 2020 unless the court order is appealed. Another 600,000 or more immigrants have work permits that will not expire until later this year. Congress is set to recess next week, and it is unclear whether they will address DACA before the end of the month. David Jones, Newscene.
For more information on support for DACA recipients, you can attend Safe Immigrant San Diego, which meets on campus every Friday in room MS 451.
The first wall contract was accepted in the Trump administration, and construction began on Wednesday to replace the border wall.
Build a great wall along the southern border.
In November, SWF Constructions of Omaha, Nebraska won a contract for $18 million for the wall replacement in Calexico, California, east of San Diego. In downtown Calexico, Customs and Border Protections are working about 2 miles to replace the barrier in the hope for Trump's big, beautiful wall with Mexico. The barrier from Mexico to California that was built in the 1960s will be replaced by a new model chosen out of 8 prototypes that were designed and built in San Diego last year. The administration seeks $18 billion to extend the wall.
And some good news for DACA dreamers. Deported high schoolers from California may find themselves eligible for a high school diploma due to a new bill that was introduced last Friday. Students who are eligible must have a GPA of 2.0 or higher. The bill would also be able to cover all undocumented immigrants who are not dreamers. However, under President Trump's decision, the program will be set to expire on March 5th. Fletcher hopes that the bill will at least help make the transition easier for California students who get deported their senior year.
A man arrested for smuggling a tiger cub into the U.S. from Mexico receives a 6-year prison sentence. The man brought the cub into Tijuana for $300. Then he tried to drive into San Diego with the tiger in the car, claiming it was a cat. His attorney says he wanted the animal as a pet, but prosecutors said that the cell phone records shown he was running an animal smuggling ring. Border inspectors took the 5-week cub to the San Diego Zoo and named it Mocha.
The men's basketball team on campus is having another remarkable season. The team has been unstoppable since last semester. Celia Jimenez has the story. All right, we apologize for that. The best athletes in sports have come together for the Olympics, and there have been many moments to highlight. Here's Colton Chavez with more in sports.
Thank you, Marissa. As we near the end of the Winter Olympics, dreams of gold have become a reality for many athletes and their countries. But beyond the glory comes the story of the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The good starts with American sweetheart Lindsey Vonn, who took home the bronze in the downhill race. At 33, Vonn is the oldest female to win an Olympic medal in alpine skiing. Along with Vonn, the women's USA women's hockey team captured gold with a 3-2 shutout win against Canada. But with all the good comes the bad. During the qualifying portion of women's halfpipe skiing, the world was introduced to Elizabeth Swanee, who through many technicalities earned a spot to represent Hungary. As you can see, Swanee is zip codes away from being an elite athlete, but did provide viewers with some comic relief. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, how can it get any worse? Well, unlike the women's team, men's hockey could not get the job done versus the Czech Republic. In the 5-round shootout, only 1 goal was scored, and it didn't come from our boys in blue. The San Diego Padres introduced their new first baseman, Eric Hosmer, on Tuesday. Before making his way to the West Coast, Hosmer spent 7 years with the Kansas City Royals, making back-to-back World Series appearances and winning the championship in 2015. As for his current team, the Padres believe Hosmer is a natural leader and will pair very nicely with teammate Will Myers. Hosmer will take over first base and move Myers to the outfield, a position he played for 3 years before moving to first. The team hopes their natural leader will help the Padres move past their 4th-place slump in the NL West. So for all of you starting to get spring fever, the Padres kicked off training today against the Seattle Mariners and will play through the weekend. And devastation for a college basketball team. The Louisville Cardinals have had a rough couple of months and things don't seem to be getting any better. The NCAA has stripped their 2013 national championship after a sex scandal forced former head coach Rick Pitino to lose his job. The Cardinals were also stripped of their 2012 to 2015 wins, which include their Final Four appearances. While the team must abide by the NCAA rules, the team does believe the accomplishments or the excitement they generated over the past years cannot be erased. Well, that wraps up sports. Back to you at the desk.
Professors on city campus claim they've been enduring racism, discrimination, and harassment for the years. We have the latest.
And later, we'll tell you who's donating to the March for Our Lives movement and give you the scoop on Marvel's latest box office hit, Black Panther.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back. 3 teachers say working at City College has been a nightmare and claim they suffered discrimination and the retaliation. Sally Jimenez has the story.
Que no ocurra más.
That is what 3 Spanish professors are requesting. They affirm they have suffered racism, discrimination, and labor harassment at City College for over 7 years by the Languages Department Chair, Rosalinda Sandoval. The teachers filed a complaint against Sandoval, the Communications Dean Trudy Gerald, and the Board of Trustees. Salvador says he suffered discrimination since the first day.
De que me preguntó si yo era chilango y volvió a hacerme la pregunta. ¿Eres chilango? Y más que pregunta parecía una acusación.
Another teacher also says Sandoval's mocked him, making fun of his age and clothes.
Ruco, viejo, tú eres el más viejo del departamento y por favor, cómprate ropa.
According to the teachers, the dean ignored the complaint against Sandoval and didn't take any action to stop the harassment.
Con la decana ya ni habla uno porque o te ignora o simplemente no te hace caso.
When they reported the abuse to Human Resources and the Teachers Union, they were retaliated against.
Una vez me llamó Rosalinda a su oficina y me dijo, pues, ¿qué pasa contigo, no? ¿Por qué estás creando tantos problemas? Le dije, yo lo único que estoy haciendo es tratando de defenderme. Pues, ¿sabes qué? Dice, tú eres un donadie, un nacho que no tiene poder.
The professor said that the goal is to help others.
Nosotros queremos que ningún profesor tenga que pasar por lo que nosotros pasamos, tenga que vivir el infierno que nosotros vivimos y tenga que contar pennies para poder sobrevivir.
For Newscene, Celia Jimenez.
The professors say that they were surprised City College and the district dismissed the allegations despite both support immigrant students. Out of camera, the Spanish coordinator declined to be interviewed. We also contacted the school district but say they can't provide any information on pending legislation. We'll keep you updated as the story develops.
While both Disney theme parks offer an adventurous experience with each visit, they continue to expand its magic with new attractions. In late June, the grand opening for California Adventure, the newly branded land Pixar Pair opens. This reimagined land will feature all of the cherished Pixar franchises, from Toy Story to The Incredibles. However, this attraction will not be the park's only expansion. Coming next year, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge will take guests to a galaxy far, far away, with movie-inspired rides and experiences that will last a lifetime.
Speaking of Disneyland, there are many ways to get to and from the Magic Kingdom by car, bus, or in this case, by train. Well, here's a chance to take up a new offer. Both Disneyland Resort and Amtrak Pacific Surfliner will offer a 5% savings for local residents on one-day tickets, with kids being able to ride free with a paid adult. For more information on the offer's conditions, visit the Amtrak's main webpage, but do keep in mind this deal will not last forever. The final days for these ticket sales will be on May 21st of this year, so hurry up and don't miss out on this great deal.
All right, and Black Panther has been the movie everyone is raving about. Here's Claudia Robles with more in entertainment.
Thank you, Marissa. But first, let me tell you guys about the country's most renowned evangelist pastor has died. Reverend Billy Graham died at 99 years of age due to prostate cancer and a buildup from fluids in his brain. Yet having symptoms of early Parkinson's disease, Graham was able to console many presidents and preach to millions across the world, from his native state of North Carolina to the communists in North Korea. During his 70 years in the pulpit, he preached Christianity to more than anyone else in the history, preaching hundreds of millions in person, television, and satellite links. Graham's influence spread across countries around the world through the combination of passion for the religion, commanding stage presence, and shed of radio, television, and advanced communication technologies. His death was confirmed by Jeremy Bloom, a spokesman for his evangelistic association. Now on to brighter news. Steven Spielberg and Oprah Winfrey joined George Clooney by donating to the March of Our Lives, a gun control rally. It's being led to the student survivors by the deadly high school shooting in Parkland. Oprah stated on Twitter that she is joining the forces to match George Clooney's $500,000 donations. Oprah believes these student organizers are the new freedom riders relating back to the 60s. Steven Spielberg also joined the list of Hollywood supporters by matching Clooney's $500,000 donation. Clooney's putting the donation in the name of their 8-month-old twins, Ella and Alexander. The Clooney say the family plans to stand by side with students next month. The March for Our Lives rally is scheduled for March 24th. The march is fueled by students advocating for gun control legislation. Now, you guys, topping our list for moviegoers, Wakanda Forever. Black Panther is the most popular movie in America, grossing over $400 million opening weekend. Black Panther is the first black lead film by Marvel Studios. It follows T'Challa, ruler of the fictional country of Wakanda in Africa. The film highlights Black and African cultures, history, arts, and languages, and even natural beauty, including traditional dress called tashiki. The director and co-writer Ryan Coogler of Oakland, California, was given a whopping $200 million of budget for the film. Black Panther is expected to gross over $5 million. The movie showcases the incredible talented cast of Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, Michael B. Jordan as the villain Killmonger, Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o, and Golden Globe nominee Daniel Kaluuya, along with many more. That's all the time I have for entertainment. Back to you two at the desk.
Now get ready to bundle up this weekend. We have more with your weekly weather forecast.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. The whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Next.
Welcome back. And you may have seen yesterday, SpaceX launched its Falcon 9 rocket, and it could be seen in our skies. The launch was delayed a handful of times because of their weather. It finally got the green light. The rocket is carrying a pair of test satellites that SpaceX hopes will lead a 12,000 satellite system to bring high-speed internet to the entire world.
All right, so we saw some rain across the county this morning, so let's take a look at our upcoming weather forecast for the week. All right, so it's pretty much, we're going to see the same cold temperatures all throughout this week as we've seen. 56 here in central San Diego, and as you get up north, 57 up in Del Mar, 54 up in Carlsbad, so it drops a few degrees there. Out in Jamul, Out in Hamul, you're going to be seeing even colder temperatures at 52. Out in Julian, you're going to see 30-degree weather. So if you want to go out there and get some warm apple cider, get some apple pie, there you go. The same thing up in Palomar Mountain. You're going to be seeing 30-degree weather as well. Alpine, 40 degrees, so somewhere along the middle there. Mount Laguna, 22. So I would try to avoid that area if possible. But yeah, we're going to be seeing cooler temperatures all throughout the week, and we even saw some rain this morning, like I said, so maybe some more precipitation as well.
The Chinese New Year kicks off in Beijing and lands in San Diego, with many hoping it will bring good fortune. Newscene's David Jones has more on the festivities.
Millions in Beijing officially say goodbye to the Year of the Rooster, as people around the world are joining China in ringing in the Lunar New Year. Friday, February 16th marks the Year of the Dog, which according to the Chinese zodiac, promises a year of justice and kindness. The country came alive as people traveled from all over to be with family, enjoying dumplings and viewing fireworks. Landmarks around the world don red, symbolizing good luck, in honor of the Lunar New Year. Celebrations will continue until the Lantern Festival on March 2nd. And on the Western Hemisphere, San Diego will have its own Lunar New Year celebrations at SeaWorld and Mira Mesa. SeaWorld will have lion dances and acrobatic shows, while Mira Mesa will offer carnival rides and a pho eating contest. Both will take place on the 24th this weekend. David Jones, Newscene.
And this weekend, there will be a new New Year fair downtown from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it's free to the public.
So what are your weekend plans?
I actually have a fencing tournament up in Escondido that I'm going to. I see some that's ranked A people, just really tough opponents, but I think I can handle it and probably win the gold.
Well, that would be cool. You also are going to have to worry about that cold weather that we just saw.
Yeah, but winter is actually an inside sport, so I don't really have to worry about the cold too much.
That's good. Do you have to wake up like super early?
Yeah, the tournament starts at 8 a.m.
See, well, there you go. You're going to have to wear a jacket on the way out.
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, and that brings up another thing. Have you been watching the Olympics?
I've been seeing like little bits and pieces. I know Colton was talking about the women's hockey team was going off and the men's hockey really wasn't. So, I mean, that's cool for them. I'm always into that. But yeah, I haven't seen a whole ton of it. Have you?
Yeah, I've actually been seeing mainly like the figure skating and skiing, but that's pretty much it.
Cool. Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Newscene. I'm Marissa Gonzalez.
And I'm Christian Gomez. See you next week.